Well, let me tell you very frankly, is that we want the sanctions and the penalties to be for those who really committed the crime, but not to really put the sanctions against Syria or the Syrian people. I think we should not really do something that is not justified in this sense. So the Lebanese position is that we are after knowing the truth, who did that crime, and these people should be brought to justice, while using sanctions against Syria or the Syrian people. I don't think that this is the right approach, and we don't really approve that.
But I think you know very well that it's going to be very difficult to find sanctions that are targeted effectively at the leadership that will not cause some pain to the people there.
Well, I think it is definitely unacceptable to harm innocent people. The same thing like any terrorist attack, that it is targeted to harm innocent people. The same thing when sanctions are really applied against a certain country, it's going to really penalize and torture innocent people, and this is something unacceptable by all standards, whether by European values or by Middle Eastern values.
Well, the United Nations made a decision that in a similar act of terrorism, when Libya shot down Pan Am 103, Libyan officials, that sanctions were appropriate. Oil sanctions were placed on Libya. And I think most people looking at it know that it caused some pain to the Libyan people, but it worked. Eventually, Muammar Gaddafi complied. Do you think sanctions worked in Libya?
Well, I think the Libyan example is different, this different example. Anyhow, we don't want to really put some sort of a comparison between Syria and Libya. I think it is unacceptable to apply indiscriminate type of sanctions that will finally harm innocent people. And this is the position that's being taken by Lebanon and most of the Arab world. I think that ultimately we have to really see, first of all, whether Syria is going to cooperate. I think Syria is getting lots of advices from all friends and from all the Arab countries that it is important and essential for Syria to cooperate. So this is something that one had to really give it the right time, so that the Syrians are going to really comply with the resolution 1636, and in the light of that, one can really see what has to be done.
Well, right now the Syrians are engaged in a negotiation, really, with the UN investigators about the hows and the whys of cooperation. Does this trouble you at all, that right off the bat they're beginning to put down conditions for their cooperation?
Well, I think the 1636 resolution asks Syria to really respond to the demands of Judge Meles. And I think the most important thing is to concentrate on the cooperation rather than on the location. And I think that Judge Meles is showing flexibility in this regard. These efforts have to be pursued. We, as far ourselves, we are in Lebanon, we think that it is very important to concentrate on the cooperation side, and we expressed that we would see great benefits if the investigation is done outside Lebanon rather than in Lebanon, because the Syrians, they have been expressing too much reserves on the investigation to be carried on in Lebanon. That's why we really made it very clear that it is in our interest and in the Syrian interest that the investigation will take place outside Lebanon.
One aspect of the investigation that received a lot of attention was the potential complicity of the president of Lebanon. Have you seen enough through this investigation to suggest that Lebanon would be better off if he were no longer president?
Well, let me tell you something. Whether it involves the president or not, I don't know. I believe that these investigations should be carried on with no hindrance, and whoever found to be, let's say, involved in this, let's say, murder, I think he has to be brought to justice, irrespective of his position and irrespective of his nationality. Now, regarding the president, you know, at one time I expressed my personal point of view that I would really encourage the president to see if he can submit his resignation. But this matter has to be done by him. This is his choice.
That's still
his
your
decision.
view, though. That's still your view? Is that still your view?
Yes, that's still my view, yes. This is my personal view. But constitutionally, this is his right to really make up his mind what to do, whether to stay or to resign. And on the other hand, the relationship between the Prime Minister and the President would have to really abide by the specifications of the Constitution. So I'm dealing a relationship with the President as really specified by the Constitution. Nevertheless, I think the President, he has to make up his mind, and I don't want to really sound that I am saying that he is a suspect. I'm not saying at all this. I don't know. It really depends upon the findings of Mr. Millis. So up till now, yes, we cannot say anything that the President is a suspect.
Prime Minister, thank you very much for joining us and for that full assessment.